nation like in Kenya here, where there's a lot of tribalism. In fact, for you to get a job, it depends on who is at the top. So, some tribes in Kenya, even if you don't have the papers, by virtue of your tribe, you are qualified in the eyes of some people in Kenya. Even I speak today. So there is a lot of unfairness. There's a lot of partiality. There's a lot of I had Man City the other day, they were playing to just I will tell you why they lost unfairly. One time, one unleashed to the goal. One Man U defender was falling down, but as he was falling down, the ball was moving towards his hand. He moved the ball, and then he controlled himself so that he does not get wounded. Now, very simple. The FIFA rule is very simple. The ball touches you on a natural position, it's not a foul, it's not a hand. And they argue that the fact that he was falling, that was a natural position for his hand. That's what they say. But the video showed clearly that he actually hit the ball with his hand so that it doesn't go to the goalpost. So that one, it fails to become a handball, to become a ball to hand. You know, there's hand to ball and ball to hand. Number two, second rule number 2 is that a handball, when your hands are in a natural position, it's not a handball, but it is a ball to hand. However, except, there's an exception. If the ball is goal bound and it touches you with your hand, up. That shot, believe you me, it was goal bound. But the referee said, no foul, no penalty, no nothing. And the match ended like that. And Arsenal unfairly lost to Man U 3-2. I'm giving you some examples of injustice that takes place. And even with those clear injustices, the Man U fans will have the audacity to tell the Arsenal fans, no, you are crybabies, and they bring the scorer who scored the third goal, called Matthias Cunha, doing his dance. Injustice everywhere. And the sad thing is that even in the church, a lot of injustice. I I myself have been in ministry for the last 5 years. I've witnessed justice with my own eyes. I've been a victim of injustice myself. And therefore, when I'm talking about this subject of injustice, it's something that I have experienced. Now, the question is then, if injustice is not the most normal thing, what is the correct thing? The correct thing is to reign justice. Can I have amen? Amen. I was given advice by the technical team, so I have to abide. Amen. What is justice? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. When we talk about justice, what do you mean? What is justice? Justice, brethren, is the foundational, moral, ethical, and legal principle of treating individuals fairly, equitably, impartially, and ensuring that they receive what they are due. That is what justice is all about. It's about treating people ethically, morally, legally, treating them, ensuring that they receive what is due to them. That is what justice is all about. It entails upholding the rule of law. Every country today, brethren, I speak to you, they have got some rules and they need to be followed. Every family have some rules and they need to be followed, whether written or unwritten. Every church has rules and they need to be followed. Can I have an amen? One of the unwritten rule of GCI is that we're an apolitical church. Can I have an amen? Apolitical, not political, but apolitical. It's not our business for people to say 2-term or 1-term. It's not our business. Can I have an amen? We leave it to them and not us. Amen? Even when we have positions, we are only allowed to exercise our positions in the day of voting. You just go, make a decision, cast your vote, and go. It's a rule that we observe. Can I have an amen? The pulpits of GCI assemblies are not for politicians, they are for priests. Can I have an amen? And therefore, no politician is allowed to come and do his thing right here. They can only do their things. When they visit in the church, they sit like any one of you here. Nyote hapa tuko sawa. In the church, we are all the same. Can I have an amen? So they sit. When they finish, the service is over, they also go. This is our business and not their business. Can I have an amen? After all, they all have their platforms. They don't invite us there. So why do they come to our platforms? We don't ask them. Even today as I speak to you, there's a big meeting that will take place in Kitengela. I know if our church was complete, because this one is going to be one of the biggest churches in Kitengela here, they are going to be flocking here. But even when they come, they will sit hapa tu. They won't sit hapa mbele, hapa ni kwa elders na kwa pastors na kwa leaders wa church hapa. Tutapatia seat nyingine kule kando kule, amen. Watakaa upande ule, hawatakaa hapa. Hapa ni kwetu. Can I have an amen? Hapa ni kwa viongozi wa church. Wao sio viongozi wa church, ni viongozi wa upande ule. Waongoze kule, waache tuongoze huku. Can I have an amen? It's a principle, a rule in the church. It's supposed to be observed. There are key aspects whenever I talk about justice. It includes distributive approaches, yani resources. Resources zinagawanywa vizuri. Unajua, if myself I come from Tana River, and the kind of injustices Tana River suffers from the hands of successive governments, I tell you, is unspeakable. I'll give an example. For the last 14 years of devolution, not even a single road has been built there, but we see them being built everywhere. They are built in Kajiado, they are built in Muranga, they are built in Nyeri, they are built in Rift Valley. No road in Tana River. For how many years? 14 years. Can I have an amen? And also, another approach of ensuring justice is through repairing the harm. That is restorative approach. You repair the harm that was done. And this one is mostly applied by the Cushitic nations, tribes in Kenya. Everything they have a word called maslahi. They know there's an amount of how many goats and camels will be paid for the death of a child. There's a number of camels that have been set to be given to compensate for the death of a woman. There's also a number of camels and cows to be given for the death of a man. It's everything. They actually provide justice on only one principle, the restorative approach. They've got nothing to do with a retributive. They've got nothing to do with a redistributive. Only the approach about restoration. That's the only approach they have. When you go to a country like China, they have got only one approach of justice, retributive. In fact, in China, almost every crime is actually punished by death, by hanging. You steal, you're hanged. You embezzle, you're hanged. You commit adultery, you're hanged. Whatsoever you do, everything wrong there, you go to the gallows. That is how they deal with justice. That is the justice system in China. In fact, even these corrupt Chinese, they are only corrupt when they come in Kenya here and other countries. They never dare do it in their country because they know where they'll be taken to the guillotine, to be killed. And I'm yet to know a country that does justice by redistribution. I know some countries that do it, like South Africa. They spend a lot of resources in the marginalized country. When you go to the desert land of South Africa, you find it has very good roads. Very good roads.